back, folks. Let's talk fermenting. Basically, fermenting is controlling the bacteria as your product rots. I know that's kind of rough sounding, but that's basically what it is. To explain it, airborne bacteria is bad. Bacteria that is born without oxygen is actually good bacteria, and that's what you're doing. You're introducing the good bacteria to your product. A few years ago I started doing this, and I have made sriracha sauce, hot sauce, kimchi, sauerkraut, pickles, vegetables, a lot of stuff. And my favorite, come to find out, is kimchi. It's a Korean dish. So my next video is going to be a basic kimchi. I eat this stuff almost every day with something. It's great with my diet, and it is fantastic for your gut health. So give it a try, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, ingredients we're going to need today for our kimchi. We want about 1 large napa cabbage, about 3 pounds, 3 cups of water, 1/2 cup sweet rice flour, 1/4 cup sugar, 3/4 cup fish sauce, and 3/4 cup Korean hot pepper flakes, 2 tablespoons grated garlic, and 2 tablespoons minced onion, 1 tablespoon of minced ginger. Ginger can be very heavy if you put too much in there, so I cut it back a little bit. I use 1 cup of regular radishes. You can use Korean daikon radishes. There's a lot of substitutes to that. I also use 3/4 cup green onions. I like my green onions in there, so I kind of put a little more of them in there. 1 apple. You can put shredded carrots in there. There's a lot of other things you can put in basic kimchi. Now, if you want to go extravagant, I suggest you go and watch some of the Asian channels for kimchi. They get down and dirty with this stuff. I'm doing basic kimchi that I eat daily. It's very good for you. So there you have it. Let's get to making some kimchi. Cutting your cabbage for kimchi. You want bite sizes. I start right down the middle of this bad boy, and you can pull it right apart. Go with quarters. You want to work the heart out of it. And cut in bite-sized chunks. Okay, after you've chopped up and rinsed your cabbage off real well, you're going to want to prep this with salt. I use a kosher salt. You can use sea salt as long as it's coarse. You put a little on top there. You want to mix it up really well. You want to make sure all this cabbage has salt on it. It's going to pull the moisture out of this. As you can see, this piece of cabbage right here, how brittle it is. What we're going to want to do is be able to do that, and it's going to be like rubber. It takes about 2 or 3 hours to get to that point. there's no real specific amount of salt you can use to do this, because it's all getting rinsed off at the end. You just want to make sure all these pieces have a good amount of salt. About every half hour for the next 2-3 hours, I'll be coming and tossing it up again, throwing some salt in there if needed, checking how much moisture we're getting out of our cabbage. We'll be back. Okay, we're waiting for the cabbage to brine for a few hours, so we're going to get everything else ready. I go about 2 inches on the spring onions. The thicker pieces I will cut in 2. These get very soft, a little crunchy at the ends. Okay. Okay, 1 peeled and chopped apple. And we're about ready to get on this paste. So let me get things together and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, first off we're going to add our ingredients. We got our ginger. Now the apple itself, I kept some of the apple for the main and some for the paste. Garlic. We are going to add our fish sauce. And we're going to try to work this into a paste. A little leakage going on. I'm going to add our onions. I'm going to put a little sugar in here, thicken it up. Look pretty good. Oh yeah. I'll put the rest of the sugar in. I'll get it right. Okay, I'll finish this. The rest will be going in the main dish after our cabbage is completed. Beforehand, what we're doing is we're taking our 3 cups of coffee 3 cups of water. Got coffee on my mind. 3 cups of water and bringing it to a simmer. All right, I've started adding my rice flour. You want to put this in slowly. If you put too much in at once, it starts clumping up. Yeah, you don't want that. As you do this, you'll notice it starts getting thicker. Okay, we're getting a little pasty here, you can see. Paste is starting to build up a little bit, so I'm going to start adding my Korean pepper flake. You start getting that really nice red burgundy type color in it. Yeah, she's building up real nice. Oh yeah. Now, I don't know how everybody is with spicy food, but at this point I would probably, if this is the first time you've done this, I would probably start tasting it with your finger, or with somebody else's finger for that matter. I would just get a little taste, and that way you know if you need to add, because it's too late to subtract. Oh yeah, that is getting really well. I'm not too worried about the heat. It's not really heat. It's more on the spicy side. It doesn't stay with you like a lot of heat will. I just take that. That's almost it. That's almost it. At this point I can shut the heat off, just letting it, because it's going to have to sit and get to about room temperature before we can use it. At that point you can add a little water if need be, but right now this is definitely what we're looking for. I might have to add a little bit before it's all said and done. Okay, making a mess. All right, I will be adding the rest of our mixture here. I clean this up a little bit, make my workspace look a little better. Okay, this is the rest of our ingredients that we ground out. Chopped it up really good. Just gonna add it all together. Okay, so we're going to set this aside off a hot surface, let it cool down, and we'll be back. Okay, well, you can see how much water came out of that lettuce, and let's give this a try. Remember I told you we could fold this, it'd be like rubber, just like rubber. Perfect, that's exactly what we want. Okay, what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to get it out of here. I'm going to rinse all the salt off this cabbage really well before I add the paste. So stand by, I'll be right back. Okay, while the cabbage is draining, I've rinsed it about 4 or 5 times. Get all that salt off of it. I put some of the paste in a large bowl, and I'm going to introduce green onions, radishes, apples. This is when the good stuff starts. Remember playing in the mud? Oh yeah. It's exactly what it's like. Good stuff. Well, that was an accident waiting to happen. I just got this GoPro for Christmas for my kids. I'm still learning all about it. So there's bound to be some accidents, mistakes. Some of my videos are going to look like crap. But, you know, I just do this for friends and family, hoping we all learn something. Alright, that's what it's going to look like before we add the lettuce. A little cabbage. I did it, honey. I said lettuce. Okay, we'll be right back, and we'll mix all this together and put it in a Korean kimchi box, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I transferred this into my stainless pan here. As you can see, that's nice and pasty. We're going to start introducing our cabbage. And get your hands dirty. You can always add more paste if you need it, but right now this isn't too bad. Maybe we'll add a little bit more. Way back in the day, I lived close to a family of Cambodians. They're a nice family. They were immigrants, came over here after Vietnam, and about once a month, they would always be in their backyards digging holes, pulling jars out of the holes, putting jars in the hole. Always wondered what the heck was going on. Well, one day I stopped by and I asked them, and they showed me a jar of kimchi, and that is exactly how they did it. They would put it in the ground and let it ferment in the ground. It never looked good to me. It's never smelled right to me. But boy, did that change. Look at that. Is that just beautiful? I'll be right back. Okay, this is my kimchi Korean storage box. You can see it's got a little rubber seal around it. I'll be putting the kimchi inside, squishing it down. This will go down and compress it. And every day or so, I'll have to pull this off and bring it up because there's going to be more liquid in it. But but I'll go ahead and do that right now, and we'll show you the aftermath. Okay, transferred into the Korean kimchi box. And what I'll do next is I'll take this top and push it down nice and firm, tight as I can get it. And this hole here will be opened up so air can come out as the liquid builds up. As you can see, the liquid will start building up in here in a couple days. I'll come back and adjust that. Okay, we'll do that for about a week, although this is able to be eaten right now. I myself do it for about 21 days on the counter. It gets the taste I want. A lot of people do it a week, week and a half, and think that's more than enough. But no, 21 days. I'll check it, have a couple pieces, and see if we need to wait a little longer. But yeah, this is fantastic. This is what I've got left over. I've been eating on. I've gone through about a gallon of it now. This is a half a gallon, and by the time this is done, I'll be ready for it. This box was given to me by a very dear, close friend of mine, and I want to thank you, Laura. It's been a godsend. It does a darn good job on this. Okay, folks. Well, I hope we learned something today. I learned I like coffee, and God bless. Till next time. By the way, before I sign off, my wife went to see the grandkids this weekend and left me here in the kitchen. So I've got to get this cleaned up before she gets home.